Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
embodiments of love.
ఈ వెంకమ్మను ఈశ్వరమ్మ వచ్చి, స్వామి మీరు ఏమైనా జరగండి, ఎటువంటి పద్ధతులైనా జరగండి, కానీ పుట్టపర్తి మాత్రం వదలకూడదు అన్నారు.
And Venkama and Ishwarama said, Swami, you may do anything, you may go anywhere, but never leave this Puttaparthi.
అప్పుడు నేను ఆమెకు మాట ఇచ్చాను.
Then Bhagavan promised,
నేను పుట్టపర్తిని వదలను,
I will never leave Puttaparthi.
నేను ఇక్కడే ఉంటాను,
I will stay here permanently.
ఈ విధంగా జరుగుతూ వచ్చేప్పటికి డివిజన్ రాణి అని, ఇంకో రాణి అని, మైసూర్ మహారాణి అని అందరూ కార్లు వేసుకొని వచ్చారు.
And many people of royal families started visiting this place.
చిత్రావతి నది ప్రవహించేటువంటిది.
And you know that Chitravati river was in full swing.
దానిపైన ఏదో ఒకటి ఇది అడ్డం పెట్టుకొని వారు దాటి వచ్చేటువంటి వారు.
They have to cross this river to reach this place.
ఈ విధమైన ప్రమాణం చేయటం చేతనే నేను ఈనాటి వరకు పుట్టపర్తి వదలలేదు.
Because of the promise given to the mother by Bhagavan, till this day he did not leave Puttaparthi.
ఎవరైనా సరే ఇక్కడికి రావాల్సిందే, కానీ నేను ఎక్కడికి పోయి స్థిరంగా నివాసం చేసేది.
Anyone for that matter will have to come to this place. Bhagavan will never go anywhere.
కనుకనే ప్రతి దానికి కూడా అవతారతత్వం అంటే పుట్టిన స్థానాన్ని వదలకూడదు.
Avatar, the nature of avatar is to stay there where the birth has taken place.
ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి చెట్టుని తీసి ఇంకో దగ్గర నాటితే అక్కడ కొంతకాలం చావచ్చును, బతకవచ్చును.
If you remove the growing plant here, transplant it somewhere else, it may grow up.
సాయి బాబాదని అక్కడ ఇక్కడ పుట్టి ఉంటే ఇది బతికేటువంటిది కాదు.
So the Sathya Sai Baba is not willing to be shifted.
ఎక్కడ పుట్టిందో అక్కడనే పెరగాలి.
This incarnation grows where it is born.
కనుక దీన్ని వదలకోకుండా ఈనాటి వరకు కూడాను ఈ పుట్టపర్తిని పెద్ద క్షేత్రంగా సాగుతూ వచ్చింది.
This Puttaparthi has become a pilgrim center because Bhagavan continued to stay.
So for this evening, as it's our first pilgrimage meeting, and it's auspicious in the sense that we started this journey the day after Sankranti, so it's a new year, a new beginning. And obviously with Swami Centenary, it's a wonderful opportunity for all of us. And already over 220 devotees have registered. So it's a wonderful start to the year, and we hope you all enjoy this journey with us. The program for this evening, and I'm conscious that we have some devotees who've been on many pilgrimages, some who came with us last time, and some who've never been. So please bear with us if there are some things that you've heard before. And for anybody who's not been to Parthi before or been on a pilgrimage before, there's lots of information here, and please do contact any of the UK Council or any of your centre presidents if you need any further information. But we will be having regular meetings, regular satsangs, and lots of communications on this journey for the next 6 to 7 months. So for today, as I said, Pratabai will speak to you in a few minutes, and then we'll go through some of the dates for the different meetings, and then we'll have some time with each of our national coordinators to talk about the various events that we're planning in Parthi, Bal Vikas plays, music items, bhajans, Vedam. And one of the key points to remember this time, and you'll see on all of our slides, is this is a zonal pilgrimage. So it's for the whole of Zone 6. So it's not just UK, but all our brothers and sisters in Europe will be joining us as well. So it's an added dimension to this centenary pilgrimage. So it's all of us from Europe going to Parthi. So they will all, also be involved with all the various items that we're doing, the bhajans, the music, and if there are any children involved, possibly with the play and any other items that the children might be doing as well. Then we'll hear from our service coordinator, Jayesh Bhai, about potential things we can be doing in Parthi. And then Sister Jaina will speak for a few minutes about our sadhana plans. As many of you who have been on pilgrimages before will know, the sadhana and the journey is nearly as important as the destination, and the sadhana is a crucial part of that. And then I'll finish off with effectively the boring bits, but the important bits about all the admin, etc. And then we'll have loads of time at the end for questions and answers. I would ask that if you have any questions, please do put them in the chat box, and Brother Kapil will facilitate that at the end, and he will ask the questions on your behalf. So if there are any questions as we go through, please add them to the chat box, and we'll come to them as we go on. Without any further ado, I'd like to welcome our National Council President, Brother Pratap Thakur, to say a few words of welcome.
Thank you, Shakti Bhai. I offer my loving salutations at the divine feet of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and thank him for giving us this opportunity of embarking on this pilgrimage to his Prashanti Nilayam. Respected brothers, sisters, and any children that are on the call, my loving sairams to each and all. Like Shakti Bhai said, this is the first of many sadhana meetings that we've planned to prepare ourselves spiritually as we embark on this sacred journey together for the upcoming centenary to Prashanti Nilayam. This sadhana marks an important milestone in our spiritual journey and in the commemoration of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's 100th year. We're truly excited in welcoming you all, including our brothers and sisters from Europe, to this transformative experience where we will come together in devotion, prayer, and reflection. The sadhana meeting will serve as a beautiful opportunity to align ourselves spiritually, strengthen our connection to Swami, and prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally for the divine pilgrimage. If you've never been to Puttaparthi before, and if you view this journey from an outer perspective, you will think, where have I come? As it is a small town with reasonable facilities. It is not a city nor a major town. However, if you go with a spiritual mind and participate in the events there, I can assure you that you're going to come back really energized, and you will certainly feel Swami's presence. Please remember that your participation in this journey is not a physical one, but a spiritual undertaking that requires dedication, purity of heart, and unwavering faith. Let us use this time to deepen our understanding of Swami's teachings, immerse ourselves in his love, and make this pilgrimage a truly transformative experience. For all those who have registered, we are grateful for your commitment and enthusiasm. We encourage you to continue your spiritual practices in the days leading up to the event, as we prepare to receive Swami's divine grace in his abode of supreme peace, Prashanti Nilayam. It is for this reason that we have these sadhana meetings, to prepare ourselves both physically and mentally. So when we get there, our focus is purely on Swami and nothing else. May this pilgrimage bring you closer to the heart of our beloved Lord, and may you experience his boundless love and blessings every step of the way. With that, I will just confirm the dates of the pilgrimage with you. They are from Monday, 28th of July, starting at 7 a.m. And it will finish on Sunday, the 3rd of August. We kindly request that all pilgrims must be in Prashanti Nilayam by Saturday 26th or the very, very latest by Sunday morning. We are planning to have a sadhana meeting on Sunday, just before we commence our actual pilgrimage on the Monday. Those that will be participating in bhajans offering and Vedam offering will obviously need to be there a few days earlier, because there'll be sessions where you will be, there'll be auditions where you will be tested on your level of competency. So for those that will be selected for the Vedam and bhajans, you will be told and you will need to arrive a few days earlier. The sadhana meetings, the dates are already listed here, and we will also be sending you an email. The dates will also be posted on the website, so they'll be easily available. But please make sure that you keep yourselves available for these dates, as there will be a lot of updates that we will be providing at each of these meetings. And I think as far as that is concerned, I will now hand you over to Brother Satish, our National Spiritual Coordinator, and he will talk to you about the spiritual events that he will be planning. Thank you.
Saram. Thank you, Pratabai. Saram, everyone. So I just wanted to briefly mention what we did last in our last pilgrimage, and we are planning more or less the same during this pilgrimage. So 2 years ago in 2023, we were fortunate to be offered some opportunities to present Vedam, bhajans, and musical items at Swami Sannidhi in Sai Kulwant Hall. So we are planning and hoping and praying that we would get a similar opportunity this time. So how we go about this is we plan for all these items that I mentioned. Plan practicing for Vedams and what Vedams we will detail it in the meetings to come. So we had a handful of our chanters last time, so it involves practicing it upfront as part of probably the sadhana plan. Probably will I don't know if Jaina will have it in her slides, but it will be part of the plan to practice some of these chants. So as a group, we are able to, when we reach there and we are auditioned, we are good to hopefully chant it at Swami's Sannidhi. Apart from that, we will also be identifying singers based on your registrations and your interest that you have shown through your registration, as to whether you have taken part in similar bhajans or musical offerings earlier. And based on that, we will reach out to you to request you to send some recordings, so we can infer something from it and then call you again for an audition to listen to you in person during the initial sadhana meetings, in-person meetings, and then identify those singers and musicians who can be part of that those offerings, be it bhajans or musical offerings. So again, as you might have seen in Prashanti Nilayam, the practice is that all bhajans are being sung as pairs. So it becomes even more important to identify those singers who can sing together, the voices match, and then distribute the bhajans accordingly, and then practice even more than if we offer it as an individual or a solo singer. So that is on the bhajan side of things. And we will also plan for some musical offerings. We have, as Pratapai mentioned, we are starting our pilgrimage from Monday, which is the 28th. It goes on till the Sunday, the 3rd of August. So we got almost 7 days, and we don't know at the moment as to what what we will be offered, what dates and times that we will be offered to offer these programs in Sai Kulwant Hall. So we will aim or plan for a list of items. I don't know, probably 5 or 10 musical numbers items to be ready to be offering at Swami Sannidhi. So there'll be ongoing practices when we start the sadhana meetings, and in between during weekends we will try to make use of the weekends, the bank holiday weekends, and so on and so forth. Just an upfront request for people who are interested to kindly make these dates and days available. We'll try to make it as simple or as accommodative as possible for the participants. You know, and where to have these practices, etc. So in short, so these are the 3 items that we are planning at the moment. And as Swami says, we have to love his uncertainty. We won't even know, nearer the time that what we will be offering. So let's hope and pray and plan for these items. Sairam.
I think just before we go on to Vaskak and Ronnie for the Balavikas, just to sort of reiterate what Brother Sathya said, I think for anybody wanting to take part, although we've given a longer deadline for people to register, please do register as soon as possible so that Brother Satish has the opportunity to, assess what's possible. And obviously this is a larger gathering than before, and it has a zonal perspective. So we would encourage anyone who's interested in these the bhajans or music or them to register as soon as possible to give Brother Satish the opportunity to, go through the names and organize practices, wherever they're needed.
Yes, and also again, I know there are a lot of musicians and singers who are planning to, who may be there in this group. From our experience, what we have learned, we got others who had been there in the previous pilgrimages as well. There is a lot of we found that we need to unlearn a lot of things to just make things simple when we are offering it there. Yes, it needs to. We can be musicians and great singers, but that there is an expectation that we keep it as simple as possible in Prashanthi Nilayam. If you listen to all these mandir bhajans, so from that perspective, this is the way we are thinking, at least. So to make it simple, if you make it a pair, the pairs would pick those bhajans that that is normally being offered in Prashanthi Nilayam as mandir bhajans. So just be mindful of this. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if we have mentioned the deadline also, Shakti.
Yes, it's on there, but it's no harm mentioning it again.
Oh yes, thank you. Sorry.
Shakti, I think just to add, I think that we have been given, at the moment, we've been given the whole week to ourselves. And in the next few weeks, we will need to provide them with a framework of what we will be doing in those 7 days.
Yeah.
So the sooner we have everyone registering their interest for the musical offerings or the bhajans or the vedams, we will plan the whole week accordingly as to what offerings we'll be making at what days and whether it's the morning or the evening. So the sooner everyone starts registering themselves, then Satish Pai can start working out a plan.
Yes, thank you. And also, as we see, this is just not UK. We've got this is a zonal pilgrimage, as we see. So we welcome all those around in Europe who have registered and have interest to send in their recordings. We will reach out to you as to what what we will be looking at, what kind of bhajans that you need to send for us to analyze it or infer from it, or to listen to it, to make a judgment based on those recordings. So please feel free to send in your recordings as per the communication that you will get soon. So be it bhajans or interesting musical offerings, singing or playing instruments. So most welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Satish. Now we move on to Sister Vaski and Brother Ronnie, who are our joint national Bal Vikas coordinators. Over to you.
Hi, Ramon. Very nice to see so many children and parents joining this trip. It's the pilgrimage, sorry. I have seen children who are coming again this year, who joined our pilgrimage last year and offered a play to Swami. Nice to see those children coming back again. We are planning to have a meeting for Balavika's parents in next couple of weeks, just to give any idea or any questions. If you have, we can answer those questions. Basically, you know the program now, like last time, we'll be offering a play. There may be more opportunities, but we don't know yet. The children's age group will be 4 to 18 years, and the parts will be given according to the commitment, capability, and age. The children who are taking GCSE and A levels, you can join the practices, face-to-face practices after your exams, but you'll be joining Zoom practices before that. So many of you already contact me and gave your, commitments for this year. So we know how to allocate parts and take the practices forward. Practices will take place in region 1, 2, 4, and 6. Other than that, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it on the chat. We can answer it. But would like to have a meeting with all the parents, just a Balavika swing meeting, so that we can identify any questions you have to answer. That's all from me. Anything, Brother Ronnie, from you?
Salam, everyone, and salam, sister. No, you've covered everything. I suppose only the one point just to say is that, as we've probably said before, and we'll say it again, this is a unique opportunity for everyone, particularly the children. It'll be a lifelong memory. So you know the registration deadline. If you don't, we'll say it again. It's the 28th of February. So please don't miss out. I've just saw a message on this chat now. Yes, Lotus is group 4. We call Lotus group 4 now. We don't call it Lotus. So group 4 falls within Balvikas, and so yes, all Balvikas students are eligible for this.
Sorry, just one more prompt, and I think Vasyaka mentioned this to me before. Can we ask everyone to please register individually? That's a crucial part of the registration process. Every single person, including all the children, need to register individually. There is a part in the form that says who are you traveling with, and if you're traveling with children, to put that information in. But that's just so that we know who's traveling together as a family, and we'll need that information later on for their travel and accommodation. And also we can cross-check if people have registered but not registered their children. But just to be as clear as we can be, please make sure you register each person individually on a separate form, so that we can see that as a separate and unique entry in our registration spreadsheet. Thank you.
Just one more thing. Sorry, Sakti. Parents, can you put the children's date of birth, please? Because some of the registration doesn't have the date of birth. So we can, allocate the parts according to the age. Thank you.
Okay. Sure.
So just to repeat the point again, apologies for the repetition, but it's just to make sure everyone remembers. If you are, for instance, a family of 4, that means you're completing the registration form 4 times. You have to fill out the form 4 times. If you're a family of 5, you fill out the form 5 times. Sorry, just to make sure you're clear. And so that means when you're filling out the form for your child will be asked a question, because my son was asked the same question: what's your date of birth? And so hopefully you'll then fill out all the questions that we give us all the information we need. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
And now we pass on to our National Service Coordinator, Jayesh Bhai, who's going to speak to a little bit about what's possible in the service area in Parthi and before we go.
Okay, Salam everyone. Wonderful to see so many people on the call today. And these are unique opportunities for all sorts of service that can be carried out. Next slide, please. So there are many different ways and different service offerings that we will be looking into. We can't finalize any of this just yet, but just to give people a flavor of what we will be looking at, some ideas are like we did grammar saver last time around. Hopefully that'll be possible again this time. We would like to donate equipment for hospitals, villages, schools, orphanages, provide obviously the prasadam on the days we are performing. And there'll be more information which will be given out as time goes on. We must also remember that whilst there are many different ways we can do service, and on the days of the pilgrimage, there will be many other things happening. Practices will be happening. There'll also be the twice daily darshan time where everybody will be in the cycle hall. So not saying there won't be any service happening whilst we are in the cycle hall or going to the Kulwant hall, because us managing our own people, our own teams will be a service as well. So we'll hopefully look for people who will guide and help the pilgrims to make sure that their journey to the Kulwant hall, inside the Kulwant hall, is the best as it could be. With everything that we do in service, let's start practicing sealing on desires. Now, just a quick recap of what we mean when we say that practice of principles of sealing of desire, consciously and continuously striving to eliminate the tendency to waste time, money, food, and energy, and utilizing any savings thereby generated for the service of mankind. So sealing on desires, let's start now. Let's start not wasting time. Let's start not wasting energy. And let's focus on the sadhana plans and prepare ourselves for what we need to do. Other elements of service we can start now. And this is for people who are going to the pilgrimage and others who may not be able to join us, but they can start with helping with some of the stuff. So last time we took some bundles of joy, Sai bundles of joy. These are handmade items for newborn babies. So people can start making them now. And as a group, we can take these with us and then distribute them to the hospital or the villages there. And apart from that, clearly there'll be a lot of administration and help required for that. So people can obviously participate in there. The Bal Vikas play will need help with the props, the costumes, and general help, with the children, looking after them. There are lots and lots of different opportunities to do, service of some sort or other, remembering that every wing is providing a service. People who sing bhajans are doing a service. People who are doing Vedam are doing a service. And each one of them may need help in some way or other. So collectively, maybe, wherever the interest lies, we can help out with that. As I said earlier, regardless of whether you're going or not, everybody can be part of this pilgrimage. And, they can help wherever help is needed. It may be to do some research on admin, helping with the play, musical offering, or just supporting when we have our sadhana meetings. So, when we meet regionally or we meet nationally, help will be needed. So, people can join in and help with that. So please, touch base with your center group, regional service coordinators, or even message us, via the service wing email for any offerings that you may have. And looking beyond that, clearly for us to provide the prasadam on the days of the performance and all the other activities, by practicing sealing on desires, people can help with providing some funds. So more details of that will be given out as time goes on.
Thank you, Jayesh. And now I'll pass on to Sister Jaina, who's one of our regional spiritual coordinators, who will tell us a bit more about some of the sadhana plans for this year.
Hello, everybody. So my name's Jaina, and I'm part of the Sadhana team. I'm going to go through the Sadhana plans for the pilgrimage. The Sadhana activities have been chosen to help us manage our minds over the next 26 or so weeks and strengthen our connection to Bhagwan. While I was looking at my notes today, the quote below today's thought of the day actually said, "If you wish to lead a sacred life and have sacred experiences, you must engage yourselves in sacred actions, Baba," which I thought was really good for today. So if we do fully participate in the activities such as Likita Japam or Nam Smaran, the point is to be able to intensify our connection with Bhagwan and learn to recognize his presence in everything we do and everyone that we meet whilst we're here. And therefore, when we go together to Prashanti in July, you'll be able to experience his love and his divine presence again with everyone you meet and everything you do whilst you're out there. So if you think about it, for an interview, we spend months gathering knowledge, revising our lines, learning about the topic, just so that we can be the best version of ourselves on the day. And I think if we can do that for an interview or a presentation at work, for a spiritual pilgrimage, I think the same amount of dedication would be required. Okay, so to help us with this preparation, the Sadhana team have come up with several Sadhana suggestions, and they're actually split up into children and adults. One of the mandatory sadhana activities is a Gayatri mantra, and I think everyone on this call will have read, Bhagwan saying in 1983, you may or may not want to chant the Gayatri mantra, but remember that by chanting the Gayatri mantra, the benefits are there for you to see, and by continuously chanting the Gayatri mantra, you yourself will reach a state of fulfillment and a sense of feeling that you've achieved something, which I think we all want to achieve. And after that, in February 2000, he said, by chanting the Gayatri Mantra, purifies the mind, confers devotion and detachment and wisdom. Again, we all want to be ready for July. So I think we can all say that when we participate in sadhana, whether we're going on the pilgrimage or not, as a family, if only one of you are going, collective sadhana only increases positive vibrations. So definitely, we should all join in. That will be beneficial, to ourselves. So please may I have the next slide to look at the trackers. So these will be distributed. So as you can see, there's an adult tracker and there are children's trackers. And on them, you just have to, there are two that are mandatory, which is the Gayatri Mantra and also doing Nam Smaran. They're mandatory. And then you can choose yourself. So, there's ones to meditate, to pray, to learn. Last year we launched the Vedam program. So those of you that do chant, include a sadhana for daily practice of chanting within there. There's reading style literature, and there will be a reading list that will be shared. But I think Sathya Sai Speaks is always the one that we always lean towards. So that's for you to do. And then please may I have the next slide, please? Thank you. There's also for the children, one part of their sadhana activity is to do an act of kindness daily. So we just put together a couple on this slide of things that, the children can do, and then they can tick them off whilst they've done them. So that's there for you. So you can look at these more closely when they're shared. And if you have any questions, there'll be an email, I'm sure, shared at the end of this presentation. So that's it from me. And, just before I finish, I just want to say to wish you, and I pray every success is achieved on your spiritual journey, and it'll be great when everyone's together in Prashanti Nilayam in July. So Sairam, thank you very much. Also, sorry, my bad. This app, that app, sorry, next slide.
This app.
Yes. So this app's also available if you've not already downloaded it. So it's, I think, the Prashanti Connect app, it's good for sadhana information. There's lots of YouTube videos on there. It's in different languages. There's bhajan practices on there. There's Vedam tutorials on there as well. So by all means, I think we've all used this previously and we've not had any problems. So do download that app, and that will have loads of sadhana activities on there as well. Thank you. I am finished now.
Thank you. Now, can I have Brother Amit, please? He's going to say a few words about some of the other ways in which people can help with the pilgrimage on the IT side.
Jai Saram, everyone. I'll reflect what Jeshbhai said. It's fantastic to see so many of you on the call. As you know, in this expanding digital world, the media and having Swami on our fingertips with our phones and on our TVs is becoming increasingly important, especially for many devotees who haven't been to Prasanthi Nilayam itself and had the physical contact with Swami. And that's why we really need some help with the media team. It's a big task. It always is a big task when we're in Prasanthi Nilayam, and lots of people are being pulled from different sides, whether they're part of the service team or singing bhajans or Vedam or just part of helping around the ashram. But we always need help to try and capture the activities that are happening in Prasanthi Nilayam. So if you do know anyone, or if you are really interested in being part of the media team and are able to come to us and be part of that team and work hard in Prasanthi Nilayam, then please get in contact with either myself or one of the media coordinators, or speak to your Santa Chair, who can then give you the contact details for myself to speak to. We really need to have a big team to try and expand this project when we get there. Thank you, Saram.
Sairam, thank you, Brother Amit. So I think you've had a whirlwind overview of most of the important bits in terms of what the programs are, what the dates are, what the sadhana is likely to be. So now I'm just going to give you just a very quick overview of the admin side of things and the information we may require, and some hopefully useful bits of information about the trip. Most of you will know some of this from previously, but we are conscious that there are many devotees who've not been on our UK pilgrimages before. So just a bit of information. And again, all of this information will be available on our website, and we will go over this in time to come. So to start with, important things like passports, visas, vaccination, baggage allowance, etc. So one of the key things, obviously, and we've had to do this recently within our family as well, is to make sure you have valid passports for travel. So please do check your passports, and if they need to be updated, please do that in good time. In the summer, the passport office is usually busier, and we don't know if there's ever going to be a strike or anything. So it's important to have all those things up to date. In terms of the visa, again, from my experience last time, there are several outsourced companies who do the visa for you, but it was easier to go through the Government of India website, and we will need to update this information, but last time it was around $25 for a 30-day visa, and this is through the government portal, and that's what we encouraged everyone to do. So again, nearer the time, we can give much more exacting information on the best process to do this, but that's something to bear in mind, that it is possible to get an e-visa before we travel. And of course, it's important to make sure we all have travel insurance and vaccinations in place. And again, you can see what those might be, and we can go through that in more detail at future meetings. One thing I would say is, please do, particularly if you're traveling in a larger family, have a few kilos spare in case we need to donate any items to Bharati in terms of your baggage allowance. In terms of travel, obviously the closest airport is Bangalore International, and we can request that everybody whilst in Bharati is vegetarian, and if you request a vegetarian meal, then that's probably the easiest option. And you can, if anybody needs wheelchair assistance, most airlines do provide that. For each person traveling, please bring 2 passport-size photographs for the accommodation office. It is variable. Sometimes they do require the passport photos, and occasionally they don't. And sometimes they have facility to take the photos there, but it's much easier if we take all the documentation directly from here. So please bear that in mind. Photocopies of documentation in case anything's lost. And please provide flight details, etc., to the planning committee. So in a few months' time, we will send out a separate form which will ask for lots of details in terms of flights and arrival times, etc., so that we can organise the accommodation whilst in Parti. And again, in terms of travel, taxi details can be provided if anyone wishes to know of a reliable taxi company from the airport to Parti. Accommodation. All devotees will need to register on accommodation on arrival with the accommodation office and pay for their room. So we won't be taking any payments for accommodation. Rooms will be allocated either by the accommodation office or by our UK admin team, and we will collate all that information, as I just said, much nearer the time, probably March, April time. We will start that process. Unfortunately, it's another Google form, but we do really need that to be able to put a grid together and supply that information to the accommodation office in Parti. All devotees coming on the pilgrimage are encouraged to stay together. We usually, sorry, let me move this so I can read it. We're usually given one or more of the north blocks for the whole group. Considering the numbers going this time, I think we will need probably at least 2 full north blocks. And the key criteria, if you like, is please stay with the group inside the ashram during the trip. That is quite an important factor.
Sorry, Shakti, can I just add something?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, just a reminder, if people are starting to look at flight details and that, we encourage people to make sure that they arrive into the ashram before it closes at 9 in the evening. And it opens at, I think, about 4 or 5 in the morning. If you arrive outside that time, it's likely that you'll have to stay outside the ashram for the duration until it opens. They have some very strict rules about when you can come in and come out of the ashram. Sometimes some arrangements can be made, but you know, when you're booking your flight, please be aware of that. And you know that you may have to find accommodation outside for a few hours. Okay, Sana.
Okay, thank you. And just to give you a bit more of an overview on in terms of planning on our side, so we have several different planning teams. There's like 8 or 9 different planning teams. So we have different teams of people here in the UK and also in when we arrive in Parti to organise various aspects of our pilgrimage. So there's a sadhana and the meeting content for our 5 or 6 meetings that we have here. There'll be a team of people who do that. There'll be a team for the music program led by Brother Satish. There's a Balikas program, a group to plan all of that led by Vaskek and Ronnie. All the service activities, both here and in Parti, will be organised again with a team of service volunteers with Jayesh Bhai. And then on the website and media side, there are potentially 2 teams, although we may merge those. Brother Amit will be leading on all of our media requirements, both again here and while we're in Parti, so that we can everyone is up to speed. One of the things we did find was last year that the devotees who were not able to come really benefited from the fact that all the programs were streamed, and we also had our WhatsApp groups and other social media channels available, so that devotees here who were not able to come for whatever reason could also feel that they were there and experience some of the joys of either the programs or the play, etc. We have an admin team here. Again, we'll be looking at all the accommodation side of things and any other support that we can offer to the devotees. And a crucial point here is that the admin team will also be supporting all our European colleagues. So we may have a separate meeting with them, but any European devotees who are on this call, the team is there to support everyone's needs in terms of passports and visas and travel arrangements and accommodation, etc. It is one team for the whole of the zone. So we are conscious that we need to think about travel circumstances, etc., for people from across Europe on this pilgrimage. And then there'll be a couple of us led by Pratapbhai, liaising with Prashanti and Pratapbhai and the zonal team liaising with Parthi. And also when we get there, we will have on one of our accommodation blocks, we will have the first room A1, which is like our admin team and our central office. So anybody with questions on a daily basis can come to that room, which is normally room A1 on the ground floor corner room. So there is coverage in terms of how we're planning the whole trip. At future meetings, we'll discuss all these things on this list. Our website is up to date with lots of information. So a lot of this information is already on our website, and the address for that I'll put up in one of the slides to come. So lots of this information is there, and then we will discuss some of this in future meetings as well. So for brevity, I'm not going to go through them now. Other points to just sort of be clear on. So the UK organisation is not responsible for any travel arrangements to Parthi. We're expecting all devotees to find their own way to Parthi. If any of you are planning to sort of go in small groups, that's absolutely fine. But there's no sort of national team that are booking tickets for anyone. So please do bear that in mind. We can provide contact details from reputable companies, taxi companies. One of the other small points to mention is, as with the last pilgrimage and many pilgrimages before, there will be some additional costs for saris and scarves, as in previous years. But again, once those have been decided upon, we'll share that information in good time. If anyone has any food allergies or dietary requirements, devotees will need to speak to the canteens personally, as they would if they travelled individually on a trip to Parthi. So the registration is now fully open, and as I said, over 200 devotees have registered. And I don't know if there's how many of you on this call have not registered, but if we've sort of given you enough information to make that decision, please do register early. It does really help a lot with our planning, particularly if we need to ask for more accommodation in Parthi. It gives them more warning. It gives them the Bhakti coordinators ability to plan things better if they know more children are coming. It gives Brother Satish more opportunity to plan things if he knows more devotees. And this is from the UK and also from Europe. If we know you're coming and you're registered, then we can make plans based on the numbers that we have. If anyone does have any medical conditions, you may want to share that information with a doctor confidentially. And we will share, the names of the doctors who will be supporting the trip, probably at our next pilgrimage meeting. But if anybody does want to flag, not any conditions, but that they may need to speak to someone, please do contact me or Jayesh, and we can put you in touch with somebody directly, because already a few doctors would have registered, so we can find out if they're willing to support that. And yeah, a good reason to know that is if any refrigeration and medication is needed, we can find out if this is possible, if there are any needs. And I think there is something on the registration form to say if you're medically fit to travel. So we would expect everybody to be medically fit to travel. But if there is anything that you want to discuss, please do let any of us know. Next steps. So at the start, we did sort of share information on when the next dates are. I know that was a bit of a blur, but effectively there's a pilgrimage meeting roughly on a monthly basis. Some of those are regional, some of those are national, so that it makes it easier for people in terms of travel, etc. So the next meeting is going to be an in-person meeting, and it's likely to be on the weekend, on the Saturday the 22nd or Saturday the 1st of March. And that's really down to your regional president and when they decide to do their regional office bearers meeting, because last the last time we did this process 2 years ago, we found that was much easier in terms of hall hire and in terms of logistics to have perhaps a half day pilgrimage meeting and a half day for the regional office bearers. So please do speak to your regional presidents as to when your next meeting is. It's likely to be on one of those 2 Saturdays, the 22nd of February or the 1st of March. If it does change, then obviously your regional president will be the best person to ask for that, but that's going to be in person. As we said before, the deadline for registering for parents and Bal children is the 28th of February, but to reiterate, please, that applies also to anybody keen to do Vedam and bhajans and and anybody with a musical inclination as well. Please do register early so that they have more time to prepare. The deadline for other devotees is the end of April, but again, the sooner anyone registers, the better, so that we can talk to Prati about accommodation requirements. If we are going to be in the 400, 500, 600 devotees area in terms of numbers going, then they would need advance notice to make sure they have enough accommodation available for us. And as I said, please do register individually. If you have any questions, the email address is nationalpilgrimage, all one word, @srisathya.org.uk, and one of us will answer those questions hopefully within a day or two. And as I said, there is a microsite on our website which will give a lot more information, and the address for that is srisathya.org.uk. And a quick plug, we do have a brand new website which is up and running, so please do have a look at that. And if you scroll down on the main page, you'll see a link to the pilgrimage, and there's loads of information on there. That's really all I have to say. So we're now at the point where we have questions. So I'll stop sharing screen.
Shakir, sorry,
yes.
just one more point.
Yeah.
Just for everyone, committee will do everything in its power to make this a very, very blissful, give you a very true experience of Prashanti Nilayam, and we'll do everything in our power to make sure that you are comfortable in your stay in Prashanti. The only thing we request and ask of you is discipline. And discipline in Prashanti is going to be very important. We're going there as a group. We're representing our country. We're representing our zone. We were very fortunate last time when we did our pilgrimage in 2023. We had 300 people. There will be challenges. There may be some local issues, but there's a whole team, or there will be a whole team locally that will deal with those issues. But other than that, the timings of Kulwant Hall, the morning sessions, the evening sessions, we all have to be very aware of those. When we enter into Kulwant Hall, there will be allocated seating for us. If anybody comes after the group has gone, they will not be allowed to sit within the allocated area. And those kind of disciplines must be maintained. And we must ensure that we do everything that doesn't cause any concerns to the people in Prashanti. That's all I request, and that's the only thing I ask of all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Bhai. I now call on Brother Kapil, who I'm sure many of you know. He's going to be moderating the questions that come on the chat. And following that, if there are any other questions, if you could just raise your hand with the button, and Brother Kapil will come to you. So over to you, Brother Kapil.
Thank you, Sathya. Saram, everyone. So the first of a few questions that we've received. In relation to the registration link, but more specifically related to questions, in addition to the overall registration, is there a separate form or link to submit for taking part in bhajans or musical singing?
The short answer is no. The information that's collated on that form will be passed on to either Bhaskar Kanrani or Brother Satish, and they have access to the online form anyway, and from that they can see who has submitted, and then they will contact you in person to discuss further.
The next question, I believe this has already been answered, but just for the benefit of those who joined the call late, in relation to the play, Vasakiyandi, Satyana, Ronibai, does this, or do the participants also include Lotus Group 4 students?
Yeah, it's 4 to 18 years old.
Thank you. Again, on the theme of children, Satyashana, do children also get an opportunity to offer bhajans? I guess this is both for Satyashana and Vasuki, Auntie.
The short answer is yes, but based on the commitment or the plans that Vasukika and Roni have for Balvika's children, if a child is interested in the play or taking part in the play, then we need to be mindful that they will be required at the play practice. If we are having them for bhajans, they should also be available at the bhajan practice or musical offering practice. So we need to be mindful of where actually we have to use them, where their interest is and where they can fit in. So there is a lot of discussions that we need to have, but the short answer is yes, we will also consider Balvika's children for bhajans.
Thanks, Anna. The next question, more related to logistics. Again, I think Satyana, you actually did touch upon this. My flight arrives only on Sunday morning of the 27th of July in Bengaluru airport at 8:30 in the morning. I should arrive in Bharti around approximately midday. Will this cause any problems?
No, that should be fine. But
yeah, hopefully we should have the meeting after lunchtime, so maybe at 2:30. So hopefully that should be a good time.
Thanks for that. Next question in relation to dress code. Is there any dress code or uniform for all those 7 days, be it for adults and children? I was going to say it's white for gents, but for the ladies, has there been a color code decided in terms of saris?
Vaskia, do you want to?
And children also, Vaskia, Auntie?
Well, children is white and white. Girls should wear a shawl and hair neatly tied. Other than that, ladies, we have got some sample saris. We are looking into it. Once we decide, we'll share it in the next meeting, hopefully, the pictures of the saris. And we are ordering it in India itself. So it will be delivered in Bharti, for the whole week.
Thank you, Auntie. Next question is in relation to accommodation. More specifically, can we stay in our own rooms? I guess that's individuals who have their own accommodation within the ashram. Shaktiana Pratap.
Yes, is the short answer.
Yes,
because we might be short of space. That the important thing is you're inside the ashram with us.
Yes, and when we issue the questionnaire for completing for the accommodation, there will be a field to say if you've got your own room in the ashram. So at least we know that we don't need to allocate your room. So please make sure that you complete the answer accordingly.
Next question is from Brother Anthony. So at the outset, many thanks for the work involved and extending this pilgrimage to other countries within Zone 6. He's asking, would it be possible for us to provide the presentation so that he may translate this into the Spanish language?
We will email it to you, Tony.
Thank you so much. Pratap, to me as well, we would like to translate
definitely.
in French as well. Yeah, thank you.
What I will do is I will email it to both of you individually, and I'll send it to Shitubai as well, so he can send it to the other country presidents.
Thank you.
Excellent, Sainam. Thank you.
Next question, Satyashana. How many days in advance do bhajan singers need to arrive by?
So we would. So during that week, but I'm coming only on Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning. So again, nearer the time, we will come to know as to when the auditions may take place. So we may have to be planning based on that as well. But ideally, by Sunday is when we should have all of the singers. That's what I can say at the moment.
Thanks, Anna.
I think the best.
Sorry,
Kapilbhai, I think the best thing is if those that haven't booked the tickets, if they can make sure that they arrive by Saturday, because just in case auditions take place Sunday morning, at least you don't miss out on the auditions. Right?
Thanks, Pratap. Vaskanti, do you actually want to mention anything about the play practice as well? Ideally, which days they should arrive by? How many days in advance?
If they can come 2 days before, it would be great. Say Friday, but no.
Thanks,
no dates decided yet. So
sure.
We don't even know whether we'll have opportunities, but we are hoping and praying. There will be, we have 7 days. So, yeah.
Only thing I will say is if you're planning to have a holiday with the pilgrimage, please don't go before the pilgrimage wherever and come to Parthi later on, because the children will be tired. And for the weather change and everything, they will really struggle. So if you're planning to go, even in India, if you're going to go after the pilgrimage, it'll be better than before pilgrimage and then come and join that week. So we want the children to be fresh and rest and, in their best form to perform. So please plan in that way so that you don't go anywhere else and come to Parthi.
And like Sister Vasuki said, ideally, I think if they can come by Friday, it would be great because it gives the children a couple of days just to get themselves climatized as well. So I think that would be very helpful.
And also we request those who are participating and having interest to stay all those days, because we won't know when we will be given opportunities. Meaning plan to be there on Sunday right through the next Sunday. So
Yeah.
Whenever we get the opportunity, we are able to offer.
I think that's the key point. Actually, the pilgrimage is from that Monday morning to the Sunday, to the following Sunday after bhajan. So that's a kind of a prerequisite that everyone stays for the whole duration of the pilgrimage. It's only 7 days, so that is quite an important thing.
And to be honest, we are very blessed that we've been given the whole week. If you look at the other pilgrimages, they're given 2 days, 3 days max. We've been offered the whole week, and I think we should all make the most of this opportunity. And this is why we should be able to offer quite a lot of offerings during that 1 week.
Thank you, everyone. I think you perhaps answered the next question, but I'll go ahead with it. Sairam, could you please make it clear, as devotees are asking to book their annual leave, are they allowed to fly back to the UK on the 3rd of August, or they can fly only on the 4th of August?
I would say the 4th of August because, as we just said, the pilgrimage finishes after evening darshan on the 3rd. But depends. If you're going to go straight after to Bangalore Airport, but the pilgrimage finishes after the evening darshan on that final Sunday.
A similar questions come through. Again, just for the devotee who's asked, it's the same answer. They're asking, are we expected to be in the pilgrimage for all 7 days, or is it okay to just be part of the pilgrimage for a couple of days?
No.
But yeah, you've already answered that question, so thanks, Shakti, on that. Maybe Vasuki Auntie can actually answer this question. The next question: can the saris please be of soft material and not stiff?
We are trying soft, nice, grand, cheap, everything we are trying. We are working 24/7, so we'll try our best.
Thanks, Auntie. Next question's in relation to the sadhana. I know Jaina's not on the call. Maybe a few of us can answer this question. In relation to sadhana, is there a set amount of sadhana that's required to be completed in order to qualify for this trip? If so, we will be briefed more on that in the coming meetings.
Sadhana is a personal thing.
Exactly.
So it is for you as to how much sadhana you want to do, right? But this is something that we're trying to offer to you so you are prepared for the journey, right? And it is also on your commitment, other commitments as well. So you'll have to work out how much sadhana you can do. And, there is no requirement from us. We're not going to be checking as to what you've done, what you've not done to qualify to be on this pilgrimage. It is your own personal journey, and we're trying to help you prepare mentally for that journey. So it's up to you with sadhana you do, how you do it, how much you do it. It's all your choice.
It is fairly flexible, and as Pratap said, it's entirely up to personal choice, and it's there as a guide. But I think we can all attest that that the preparation and the effort we put in is really important to how we feel when we're there. So yeah, but it is completely personal.
Thanks, thanks, Pratap. That seems to be the last of the questions. I don't know if anyone else would like to ask a question. We've still got a few minutes, I believe. Please just populate the chat box. But that's it, Pratap, Shakti, Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, if there are no further questions, like Shakti Bai says, please, even after this meeting, if there is anything that pops in your mind, or if you want more clarification, please send an email to nationalpilgrimage@srisatyasai.org.uk. The team will answer your questions. If we don't have the answers, we'll still respond and let you know that we're waiting on some guidance and information.
Well, if there's nothing else, then I guess the important thing is the next meeting. So you will have comms more likely from your regional presidents about the date of that. But as we said, it's likely to be around the 22nd or the weekend after on the 1st of March. But please do attend the Sadhana meetings. It is quite important, as you'll always get additional information, and each of these meetings that we have as we progress near the time to leave, we'll have more and more details. So they are useful, and it's also good satsang. That's the other main aspect of the sadhana meeting. We'll have talks and getting together and praying together, and it all enhances the spirituality of the experience before we get there. So, is any last words, Pratapai? Or
yeah, I was about to say that I know this. The registration for this pilgrimage gets announced at centers periodically, but please encourage other devotees who are looking to join this pilgrimage to register as quickly as possible. We will be closing the registration, like Shakti Bai said. We do need to provide Prashanti with a list of all the pilgrims that are coming, because then they can work out how many rooms we will need and how many blocks they need to allocate to us, depending on the number of pilgrims. So the sooner everybody registers and the sooner we start building those registers, we can send that off to Parthi. The deadline for us is end of April. And please note that this is going to be a very, very busy year in Prashanti. So it's very important that we send the information as early as possible and we don't delay anything from our side.
I think there's been one or two more questions, a couple, or before we finish.
Yes. Is it mandatory to purchase the saris to be part of the group?
Yes, it is, because it will be part of the uniform of our zone. So, and this is why we like Sister Vasuki said, she's working very, very hard to ensure that she gets the right material, right color, right style, at the right price. But this is why we mentioned today that there will be a uniform for the ladies, and for the gents and the children, it will be white and white.
We've had one question come through. Someone else asking with regards to the slide. They're asking whether the slide set can be shared with them in order for them to understand the various ways in which they can contribute in their own little way, physically or otherwise.
What we'll do for that, we'll put them on the website. Hopefully within the next 2 days, they should be on our website. Rather than sending them out via email, we'll put them on the website.
All the information will go on the website, even the service activities and how you can participate in the service activities as well.
And please do check the website periodically, on a monthly basis. As we do more of these meetings, we can put more and more information on our website.
Just one more thing I would like to say. Sorry, Sathya. No, I can see a few names who are not registered, but they have joined this meeting. Thank you for joining. And I will say this is a wonderful opportunity for the children to offer their play or their whatever program they are offering to Swami. Special year, special pilgrimage, special program, and it'll be really good if the children can participate. So please spread the message, and if you haven't registered yet, please register. Thank you, Sarah.
And Sister Vasuki did a great job last time in 2023. She included every child. We had 54 children and every child participated, and it was such a wonderful offering. Everybody, I can't tell you how much it was appreciated by everyone in Prashanti as well.
And
so thank you, Sister.
And this time we're including them in bhajans as well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes.